Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fabletop Podcast. My name is Diddy.
And my name's Bonehead.
Today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're not going to be talking about a topic. We're going to actually be recounting the campaign that I have been running for Bonehead and Zenfire, Mark, and
It was...
Gareth.
Well, I mean, we're starting with the first campaign we were part of, so Landmorn, not Gareth.
Oh gosh, yes, it was Landmore, not Gareth.
It was. Yes.
That was, 7 months ago now?
Yeah, I believe we started at the arse end of February.
I thought it was March.
Could have been. Somewhere around that time, like late February, early March.
Yeah. So, I basically, as I've said in the previous episode, I put out a call on a D&D Facebook group, well, on two D&D Facebook groups, and they all replied within the first hour, so I thought they'll do, and all added them to a Facebook chat, and you guys instantly clicked. It was brilliant.
Yeah, this was where I leached onto Zenfire's request.
Zenfire. Yeah.
It was like Marge Simpson's mum, or like fake Marge Simpson's mum. Can I come too? But yeah, I mean, we've said it before in previous episodes. Like how quickly we clicked and got along was, I think Zen said it best. It was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, definitely.
And
so Zenfire was completely new, and so was Landmorn. So I had to help Zenfire and Landmorn create their characters first off, and also I ran a one shot for Zenfire, which was the rave on wheels, the horse-drawn rave. I think he's made mention of that in the groups at some point.
Yeah, the story of that never got fully explained, but we did get the story of the party bus. Yeah.
Yeah. So Zenfire went on this one shot, which was basically like a 3-story townhouse on wheels that was drawn by about 15 horses. He's just walking along a path one day. And then out of nowhere, he feels this just rumbling on the ground. He makes a survival check. This is what I was doing. I was trying to make so many, I was trying to include every single check you could make in this one shot. So he makes a survival, I think, or nature check to like kind of feel the ground, to feel what might be coming his way, if it's like a stampede or if it's some kind of earthquake or something. He rolls a natural 20 on his first roll. I mean, this is pretty standard for Zenfire,
Yeah,
to be honest.
yeah, it set a precedent.
Yeah, so he rolls a natural 20, and I'm like, yeah, all right. You can feel that there's about 15 horses coming your way, and they are pulling something very large. So around this corner comes this 3-story townhouse drawn by 15 horses. At the side, at the front door of this townhouse, is a man with like a fishing hook.
Okay, yeah.
That just like grabs Zenfire, pulls him into the house. And inside the house is just a whole bunch of people partying. They're eating nibbles, they're drinking wine, drinking ale, all that kind of stuff. And I think his name's like Lieutenant Dorman or something. So Lieutenant Dorman brings him inside and introduces him to the party. Zenfire says, "Well, what's going on? Why'd you pick me up?" And Dorman says, "Well, ratio was a bit off, so we had to bring in some new males." And Zenfire's like, "Yeah, fair enough."
I think Zen probably would have put it, understandable, have a nice day.
Yeah, that's exactly how he would have put it. So, Lieutenant Dorman introduces Zenfire to Captain DJ.
Wow.
And Captain DJ starts telling him about basically the lore of this place, where this townhouse was basically a party hub in the town that the house was in. but the residents were just completely fed up with all the noise all hours of the night. So during the night, they jacked up the house, put it on wheels, attached 15 horses, and just fucking set it off. Just get it out of the town. There we go. It's gone. It's not our problem anymore. That was about 3 generations ago. Oh. So they've been just on this house for, like, some people have been picked up, but like no one who is on the house now actually was alive when the house left the town.
Bloody hell.
Everyone who's in the house was either born in the house or was picked up.
So what do they do with the bodies then if people die? They just like dump them out the back door?
Them out. Yeah, they just chuck them out the back door. I mean, this was just a thing I just came up with like in 5 minutes because Zenfire was like, "Oh, can I have a one shot just so you can like teach me some stuff?" I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." Right. There's absolutely no lore behind this at all. So yeah, they just chuck bodies out the side when they die. They occasionally stop in towns, basically to raid them for, I think it was ale, wine, and cheese footballs. That's what I think Captain DJ said. If this is sounding familiar to any of you, it's because it is completely ripped off from the flying party from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Never seen it, so...
So eventually they, like, after all this exposition, they're just about to raid a town. So they go into this town, and they make the townspeople are just like, "Oh no, we don't want to be raided." So they start fighting back, and then there was a whole combat encounter which introduced Zenfire into combat mechanics. And eventually this elderly elf comes down. He's like the town, like the town guard captain.
Right.
And he explains that, oh no, this is the town that the house the house originally came from. And then the captain of the guard explained that, oh, it's been a bit quiet and boring since you guys left, but we haven't been able to find you, so yeah, sure, you can come back. And that was the end of the one shot.
So there was a happy end.
Yeah, but like I said, it was written in 15 minutes. There's nothing, there's no depth to it at all.
You know what, I can respect and completely understand that. There's been a few occasions over the last few months where I've had like half an hour to write a one shot, like 35 minutes before it's meant to start. So yeah, I completely feel your pain on that. But I mean, it was a good idea. Like, Zen was brand new, so as thrown together as it was, like not in a insulting way, but
no, it was thrown together.
But you still managed to get enough going that when the game started properly, like, at least he came in with some idea of how the game's played.
Yeah.
The only difference is he's now cooperating with 3 other people.
I did intend to run it with Landmorn as well, but he just wasn't interested and just wanted to, like, session 1 wanted to be his session 1 instead of running a one-shot with him to teach him anything.
I respect that. That was the same with me.
Yeah, so, obviously after Zenfire's one-shot, we start Lost Mines of Phandelver. Now, don't click off. This isn't going to be just me reading out Lost Mines of Phandelver book. I changed so much stuff. It's almost ridiculous. We start off with the party leaving Neverwinter.
I don't remember specifically. I do remember we were travelling. We weren't travelling with Silda or was his name Grunderson or
Gundren.
Yeah, I know we weren't travelling with them. We were travelling to meet them in Phandalin.
Yeah, so like you were on the they had tasked you with escorting a wagon full of supplies from, it was Neverwinter because it's the one up, not Waterdeep, from Neverwinter to the town of Phandelver. You guys were on the wagon. Sildar Hallwinter and Gundren Rockseeker were about an hour ahead of you on horseback. And you introduced yourselves.
Yes. Admittedly, like, this was so long ago. I believe we did it while riding horseback.
Yes.
Everyone was quite descriptive of their characters. Like, everyone gave like a good clear picture of what their characters looked like. And as I believe more or less 100% of the people who play Phandelver go through, you find the horses, which then lead you off the beaten track to a cave. And those opening half an hour, I think, was, even for Landmorn and Zenfire, a good presentation of the party dynamic.
Yeah, definitely.
Landmorn was a wizard. Mark, or Varud, is the barbarian. Zenfire is a Goliath blood hunter in this one.
Mm-hmm.
And Diego, who was called Artemis at the time for reasons that we will eventually get to, is a Tabaxi rogue.
So yeah, you first, like, you're on the cart and you come across a couple of dead horses, which I'm pretty sure you immediately found out were the horses that Sildar Hallwinter and Gundren Rockseeker were on.
Yes, and I believe I remember correctly that it was Varud who identified the arrows as goblin arrows as well.
Yes. So, then Goblin Ambush straight away. You guys did all right. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, it did help that you had DM'd before, Mark and I had played before.
Yes.
So we were, I'd like to think, be able to set a good example for the other two of how combat encounters. Yeah. And yeah, we all handled ourselves pretty well. Turns out Landmorn is deadly fucking efficient with the catapult spell.
Oh, Christ, yeah. Just picks up rocks and just two done.
He's like Goblins one-shotting goblins at level 1. Like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. But there was something I came up with for Landmorn. Because he's like this just 18-year-old gnome that's just fresh out of wizard college. This is his first fight. This is the first time he's killed anything. So he's got to roll a Constitution saving throw to save himself from throwing up.
And he very rarely made those saves.
Very rarely. Because obviously right at the start I was making them DC 20.
Yeah.
And then after every single combat encounter they would just go down by 1.
Makes sense.
Eventually, after like 20 combats, he would have just not had to make them at all.
I don't remember, like, this is just a little bit off subject. What's, like, the maximum age for a gnome? Because for me, 18 sounds old. But then I don't know if maybe gnomes are like dwarves and whatnot. They can live for, like, 400 years or whatever. I've never gone into deep lore about gnome.
The gnome race for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition? Come on, age.
I might be confusing with the goblins, because I think goblins live to about 25, 30?
Gnomes mature at the same rate humans do, and most are expected to settle down into adult life by around age 40. They can live anywhere from 350 to 500 years.
Alright, well, I'm probably confusing with goblins then.
So he's quite young.
Yeah, very young, yeah. Yeah, like 350 to 500 years. This boy is like months old by human standards.
But they do reach maturity at the same rate that humans do.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair.
So I guess like maybe it kind of diverges off at the age of like 16 or something.
Yeah.
16 to 18.
Yeah. Fuck it, who knows? But Yeah, no, I think I was just getting it confused with goblins, because I know goblins at around that age are considered, like, old.
Yeah. Then I'm pretty sure you found some, like, Goblin Tracks heading towards... Like, heading northeast, I think?
I want to say yes. We definitely found something that led us off the main road. We went through a small thicket of bush and trees, and we came to a river, which I think we staked out for a bit, because I've ran Mines of Phandelver twice now, and I believe it's in your one where a goblin with wolves came out of the cave. If not, not, then we went into the cave, found where the wolves, because I think I climbed, I don't remember, it's so long ago, and I've got like this blurred memory of like 2 campaigns running in tandem.
Yeah. I think like you got across and there were 2 goblins like in a hide behind a bush that you killed. And then when you went inside, there were the 2 wolves. There were like 2 or 3 wolves just inside, and Zenfire tried to like calm them down, because I remember rolling animal handling or something like that.
Right, I think I remember where I'm getting confused, because the other game I was playing, I was basically a week ahead in your game, so your game was happening, and then I'd have to pretend I didn't know what was going on in the catch-up game.
Right.
And I'm getting confused because in the catch-up game, we found like a bone pile at the back of the wolf den, and my character in that game was like picking like teeth and shit out to like make jewelry with. It also went very differently as well, because obviously in this encounter, I believe you're meant to come across the group of goblins first, and then one of them sets you on to go and fight Clark.
Yes.
But we found Clark first, and then went to the goblins and basically held up... Well, no, we went for Clark's head, but Clark's head and body were gone.
Yes, you carried on up the stream in the cave. You made a right-hand turn into the pool room, where like it was all pooling, and then before going down the stream. And then just south of that was where Clark and I think 2... Was it wolves? I think it might have been wolves or goblins.
I think it was goblins, because we killed Clark. Clark was the first one to go down.
Yeah.
Then we killed a goblin, and then the other goblins saw this and tried to run. And that's when Varud got 2 natural 20s in a row and absolutely made mincemeat out of that other goblin.
Yeah. So you left the bodies there, and then you went to find... you went to the other room to try and find Gundren and Sildar.
Let me, because obviously I've been taking notes since day 1 of this in my absolutely fabulous Stitch notebook. I counted this the other day. I have 64 pages of notes.
Oof.
Yeah, I am a note taker. Let's see. Yeah, so we went into the chamber where the rest of the goblins were, and that's where we found Sildar tied up and being held hostage by goblins. We should also mention that Zenfire took the first ever point of damage in this cave, not from goblins, but he missed a jump trying to jump a gap and chinned the cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have notes of any like named goblins. I do have Clark's name here.
Yeah, I don't think I did name any of the goblins. I think one of them that was keeping Sildar was meant to be like slightly higher rank, but I just didn't bother, I think.
Actually, let me pull my other notebook out. Because this one was the one I was using for my catch-up game in the other group. And I believe that goblin did have a name. DM in that game called him Yimic or Imic. Y-M-I-C.
Okay.
So, might be the case, might not be the case, but I do have a named goblin from a different version.
Yeah, so this party of 4 manages to kill just 3 goblins fairly easily and untie Sildar Hallwinter. But his loot in with Clark's room or something? Like all of his equipment was in the room that you killed Clark in.
It was, yeah, because we found him and gave his stuff back. We also found the Lion Shield's lost provisions as well.
Yes, the Lion Shield Costa.
Yeah, because after we got Silda back on his feet, we went straight to Phandalin from there. We loaded up our wagon with the extra stuff.
Before you did that, you went back to the Clark room.
Yes. And
where there was no more Clark.
And thus began a running joke in the game. And I believe the catchphrase that was coined by at least Zenfire and myself was "fucking Clark."
I mean, this got so bad to the point where anytime they saw a bugbear, they were just like, "Does he have a scar on his neck?" And it's like, "No, the bugbear doesn't have a scar on his neck." And they're like, "All right, it's not Clark. Let's move on."
Like, we had no gripe with any other bugbear, just this one who slipped through our fingers. I mean, we didn't go bugbear racist. Like, it's not like we saw one on the street and then attacked.
Yeah. Apart from at the end of Aquisitions Incorporated, where you just assumed a bugbear was Clark and tried to kill him.
Yeah.
You didn't even ask.
No, that's true. I think it's because there'd been no hints up to that point that there was going to be a separate bugbear. I think we didn't assume it was the Clark. I think, at least for myself, we was assuming it was alternate dimension Clark.
Yes, sir. Also, for the viewers, I had to set Acquisitions Incorporated in a separate dimension because of reasons we will explain in a later episode concerning Lost Mines of Phandelver.
But yeah, so Clark basically sewed himself together and walked off. And confident that we were going to be a good travelling party, went off to Phandalin for the first time. Our first stop was Barthen's Provisions.
Yes.
Where Zenfire and myself tried to intimidate the shop owner into giving us more. Well, no, sorry. I tried to bullshit him and say that Silda promised us more money. And when I rolled poorly on my deception check, Zenfire's basically got his sword ready to go, be like, "You want to believe the lie." But that didn't pan out.
What you also did was you assumed that they were going to pay you for the goods as well. But the goods had already been paid for and you were just being paid for escorting it.
Also, looking through my notes, Varud has a last name.
What?
Yeah, I've got it here. Zenfire, Landborn, and Varud Smeltborn.
Smeltborn?
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
Same. He probably has as well.
Because we only use, last name. We only use first names.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've got it written down here. Third page of my notes, Varud Smeltborn.
So, yeah, and I believe this is when Varud bought his hat.
This is when he became the fancy man of Phandalin, yeah.
So Varud goes in. He asks for the fanciest hat in the shop. It's this massive, velvet purple thing that's, pinned up at one side. It's got a feather, like a golden peacock feather coming out the side. This is this barbarian that's just, in furs and belts and carrying weapons in this, purple velvet hat with a golden peacock feather coming out the side. It...
the most ill-fitting gauche item he could have bought.
Yeah.
But it started...
It's also got, a leopard print band around the headpiece.
And that started the legend of the fancy man of Phandalin. Which is funny because when we get to the dimension hopping thing, his whole demeanor changes.
Oh yeah.
But that's to come later.
So you then went to the Lion Shield Costa to drop off their supplies.
Yep. I believe I was actually successful in getting a little bit more money off of them.
You did. Was it then that Landmorn that you went to the town hall with Sildar, and Landmorn met the love of his life, the receptionist?
We went to the Stonehill Inn straight afterwards. We got a night's sleep in.
Okay.
And then Sildar met us at the town hall the next day, where Landmorn then met the receptionist woman.
The receptionist. She's called the receptionist.
Yeah. Landmorn's the only one who knows her name, and he took that to the grave.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, it was...
That's foreshadowing for a future episode.
But yeah, it was the meeting in the town hall where we learnt about like the red brands and the problems they were causing for Phandalin. We learned of some goings on in Tresendar Manor. We learnt of someone called Glassstaff. I've got Harlia written here.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she was under suspicion at the time. Oh, no.
No, she gave you a job, didn't she?
To find some letters.
Finding letters, yeah.
Yeah, because I've got this all circled off here, but it's in like the wrong order.
That's the thing. The other day I couldn't remember like what Halia was doing, how was she introduced? I couldn't remember how she was introduced.
She cornered us outside of the town hall and asked us if we were dealing with the red brands or anything like that, and she was the one who put us onto a guy called Glassstaff.
Wasn't there another name though?
Yes. So Sildar asked us to find his partner, Irono? Wait, let me see if I've got the note in this book as well.
Iano.
Something like that.
Albrecht.
Inario.
Albrecht. Iano Albrecht. I remember it now.
I have like two different names in each book. I've got Iorono and Inario. But yeah, so we was put onto that person as well. And I believe from there we went straight to
Tresendar Manor.
I believe so, yeah.
To the dungeons.
Yeah, we went through a cavern entrance on the side because Tresendar Manor's up on like a hill.
I don't think you did. I'm pretty sure you went in through the top entrance, through the hatchway. No, I think we found like a crypt or something and went through. Yes.
Because one of the first encounters we came up across in there was the Nothic fight.
No, you are definitely thinking of another campaign because Varud went first, if you remember. He tried to barge down the door. The door was unlocked, and so just went straight through and then tumbled over some railings.
That's it, yeah. Yep. You are correct. I am thinking of my other game. God, it's been a detriment. it's
running two campaigns in exactly the same source book. I remember you kept messaging me saying, like, how much shit did you change?
Yeah, because, like, we were playing with you straight away, and then a couple weeks later after that, I started up in a new monthly game, the one that I keep referencing. And we were behind you by about 2 sessions. And when we finally got into Under the Manor, like, there was animated skeletons, there was a Nothic fight in a pit, we went down into the pit and found, like, prisoners and stuff. We found, like, some guy's dead body who, like, had a fucking wicked magic sword on him.
Yeah, I don't remember the prisoners from the book, but the sword is from the Tresendar Manor, like the Lord of Tresendar Manor. I think it's called Talon or something.
It is, yeah, because my monk in that monthly game turns out to be like the long lost prince of Tresendar Manor. And that sword was basically like his birthright.
Right. So yes, I think we should leave it there for this episode, just before you head into Tresendar Manor Dungeons.
Yeah.
Which is episode 2 of Lost Mine of Phandelver.
Oh, is that how it? Because I've never run modules, so I'm not aware of the structure on.
Yeah, Tresendar Manor is episode 2, I believe.
Would you like to end it here, or would we like to go over some notes and impressions of the first few sessions we played?
Yeah, sure.
So, this was my first time in a module. The few one-shots I played before this were completely homebrew. So it was a refreshing change of pace to have structure to a game. And it was also really nice to play with a party that clicked straight away. Because at this point, again, that's not something I had experienced, so... But was this your first proper running of a module, or is this like a second, third attempt?
No, I had actually run Lost Mine of Phandelver up to episode 3 with a group of friends about a year beforehand, and I had run Aquisitions Incorporated up to episode 4 with friends and family about 6 months beforehand.
I do remember you saying something, because I remember we got to a certain point in the Mines of Phandelver bit, and you was like, right, I'm flying blind here.
Yeah.
Like, you was this is completely seat of the pants. You know, like, I always cut out the part where my camera dies on me. But it's become such a running meme right now. Like, just... I don't know, it just cuts out at like 29:50, and I always forget.
Yeah, because basically, like, I would run it for one group for like two or three episodes. Then they would just stop talking to me.
Yeah.
Get bored, and they wouldn't schedule any more games. I'm like, oh, fine, right, okay. So I interact with the new group, and then I start running it, and the same thing happens, and I'm starting to think, fuck, is it me? Am I just a shit DM?
No, I mean, obviously not, because, I mean, 3 of the original 4 are stuck with you this long.
Yeah.
I'm also remembering
7 months.
We used to play Sundays at 12?
We did. Sundays at 12 p.m.
Because I wasn't working at the time because lockdown from the Verona Kairos. And then when I started back up at work, we had to make the adjustment to 7:30 on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad we actually did manage to figure out. Mark went fucking all out. He was like, right, I've made a Google Doc spreadsheet. Like, you put in your availability here, then we'll cross-confirm all of the data. And but no, I'm glad we figured it out and stuck with it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Like, I in every one of these sessions, I always say something really cheesy or really corny about like my appreciation, but I don't think I'd ever be able to, like, overstate it enough that this was my first proper experience. You as a DM and Zenfire, Marcus, and Landmorn at the time, like, made this basically the D&D experience I wanted. Like, I came in fully aware of things like the Matt Mercer effect and understanding that, you know, no one who plays D&D like in this capacity is a professional voice actor. Like, I understood we were just dudes being dudes.
Yeah.
But I got exactly what I wanted out of this through playing with you, so...
Aww.
Yeah. And then you made me cry, you bastard.
Yeah. But that's for another episode.
That is. That's a ways off. So many twists and turns to come.
So, if you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, please leave a comment down below for any subject you would like us to talk about. So, I've been Diddy.
And I've been Bonehead.
and thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Bye.